Good morning to you. It is yet another great day here in Central Virginia, Wednesday, December 18th. Thank you for joining us again today as we launch our midweek edition of Virginia This Morning. Amy Lacey and I are proud to be your host. I'm Bill Bevins.
Good morning, Mr. Bill Bevins. Good morning to all of you. You can enjoy a variety of things right here on Virginia This Morning. Our show is the premier infotainment show in the area. We pride ourselves on being in the know of what's trending, and we enjoy passing information on to you, our valued friends and viewers of the program. So
you know the old saying of if you don't like the weather, stick around, it'll change tomorrow. Well, it'll change this afternoon, or it changed yesterday midday, or whatever.
It's kind of, we get these 40-degree swings in temperature, and it's really unsettling because you should not need a tank top and a winter coat.
Well, the top was down on the car yesterday on the way home, and it's like, yeah, you got to take those when they come, and really enjoyed it. But of course, now obviously, today's a different day.
Yes, it is. Well,
all right, let's get to it then. Here are a few things we're going to look forward to sharing today. Hot fire jambalaya. I love that. See rhymes there. We'll head into the kitchen with Michael Sparks and Chef Steve Glenn with the Underground Kitchen, and hear all about their Smart Soul Food program. And we're going to check out a tasty recipe as well.
We will also flip through the pages of the January-February issue of Our Home magazine with managing editor Susan Morgan.
Always have a good time when Susan's in, learn a lot too. Now, if you're looking to include a great shopping and dining adventure to your holiday lineup, downtown Petersburg is just the place to visit. And our Andreas White-Murdaugh is visiting there live on location this morning, and not make one, but two stops on her journey today. Good morning, Andreas.
Good morning. This is the perfect place to kick off the holiday season and to think about holiday shopping. I am here at Market Street Coffee, which is just absolutely gorgeous, and I have the pleasure of being with Miss Ella Dickinson from the Visit Petersburg Initiative. We're going to be talking about shopping, food, and what is to come in Petersburg, Virginia, a place that is so, so special to me. I cannot wait to show you everything that Petersburg has to offer. So you've got to stay tuned today. In the meantime, Tom, it's not looking as sunny out there as we had hoped. I hope you've got some good news for us.
All right, well, we've got a little mix right now, but we do expect more clouds during the day today. And you can see some sun reflecting around me, but looking westward, you can see a lot of clouds beginning to move in. We are expecting mostly cloudy conditions here eventually. It's just going to take a little bit longer, but at least we're enjoying some bright skies early this morning, and then maybe even some broken clouds on and off during the day. 50 degrees right now at the airport. And the dew point's at 30. We had a lot of fog early this morning in some spots, man. It was really dense. 40s to around 50 now in most areas here, and that's the front off to our west. We can see that rain that extends from Ohio back into North Texas. And then behind that, well, we're going to start to see some blasts of cold air. We'll get one tonight, but I'm not going to quite call tonight's a blast. It's going to bring temperatures down tomorrow, but then it's going to get increasingly colder heading into the weekend. The showers come in. This is 6 p.m. through the evening and a portion of the overnight, some scattered showers. We dry out tomorrow. Temperatures fall to maybe around 50 for a daytime high. Another shot of colder air comes in for Friday. That'll bring some clouds with it. And then we get colder and colder heading into the weekend. We go from 50 to 47, from 41 to 38, from 38 to 37. And look at that, a balmy 41 by next Tuesday. All right, Virginia This Morning will continue right after this.
Wednesday to you. It is December 18th. Thank you for tuning in to Virginia This Morning. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're a repeat viewer of the show, welcome back. I'm Amy Lacey. Great to have you today.
I'm Bill Bevins. We know you have a lot of choices in your programming, and we appreciate the privilege of your time.
We certainly have a great show coming up today.
Yeah.
A lot of infotainment coming up, including Our Home Magazine, Michael Sparks, and Chef Steve Glenn of the Underground Kitchen. And in just a few minutes, Andreas White-Murdaugh starts her guided tour of a few fun places to visit in the city of Petersburg.
But before we go any further, we have to mention today is Wednesday. So, Amy,
oh no,
guess
I forgot.
what? It's time for this week's word game. Where'd that come from? Okay, for those of you who like to play along with the game, or maybe you haven't even heard of it before, we mentioned a word and or a phrase. Over the years, you probably even used that word in conversation. The objective is to have you figure out the origins of the word and where it comes from. Today's word, ginormous.
Okay, so I didn't even know that that was technically a real word. I thought it was just something that people said, you know.
Well, if you get said enough, it becomes a real word.
We know it's ginormous, so it's
ginormous.
Big. So I think gigantic, enormous, gargantuan, all the words like kind of come together, meshed in one.
Okay.
So
it's a mashup.
A mashup of words that mean very large. There you go. I mean, that has to be right because I can't imagine that it would be anything else. But who knows, because I'm always wrong.
No, well, you've got a few of them.
A few of them.
All right, let's, we have a ginormous talent on our staff. We're going to send it out to her right now. Andreas White-Murdaugh is here to start off the fun with a guided tour of the city of Petersburg.
This segment is sponsored by the City of Petersburg.
All right, we are here in Petersburg, Virginia. Bill was talking about things being ginormous, gigantic. The list of things you can do and experience in Petersburg is truly ginormous, and we're going to be diving into that today. I'm here with Ella Dickinson, project manager in the Department of Communications, Tourism, and Marketing.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Petersburg has such a mix of new businesses, existing businesses, thriving businesses, and today we're going to be diving in to talk about them all.
We are going to have some fun, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, right now we are at Market Street Coffee. Cheers to you this morning.
Yes.
I've got the best hot chocolate. You've got some lovely tea.
My English tea, of course. Yes.
We are talking about coffee with a cause.
Yes, this is a non-profit. This beautiful space is a non-profit run coffee shop by Regenesis, and their focus and mission is recovery programs for addiction, and many of the graduates that go through their programs actually work here. So it's a wonderful opportunity to get people back in the workforce, but also all profits go to their cause. So it's fantastic.
And I don't know if you can see behind us, the place is a buzz. People are here supporting this organization that is doing so much for the community and making a difference at Hannah's House. Tell us about Hannah's House and the people who get to go
Hannah's House is, I think that's where the funds mostly go to, and it's for young women, and they are able to even keep their children with them while they go through the recovery program, which is an incredibly important thing for these young women. So it's a wonderful thing, and as you can see, it's a beautiful space too here. It's stunning.
A gorgeous space. Now this is also a renovation, so it didn't quite look like this in its former life.
No, I mean, this beautiful woodwork, everything outside, I mean, and inside, it was a complete redo, and you know, as many buildings are downtown Petersburg, so it's fantastic.
The aspect of making something new out of something old, maintaining the history. I don't know if you all can see it, but you can see some of the brick, the original brick on the walls. You can see all types of history right here in this building, and knowing that it's making such a wonderful difference in the community is even better.
It's a very meaningful way of supporting the community, not only in business, but as a nonprofit. It's fantastic.
So speaking of supporting the community, we are just steps away from from the Petersburg Library,
Yep.
which not only offers books and education, but much, much more.
Oh my gosh, we've got a market there with fresh local food. It's a gathering spot. It's where city council happens. It's where events happen. We have programs for children. It's actually full of Christmas trees right now, which is wonderful. A lot of nonprofits and schools have decorated trees, and they're dotted all around the library. So it's a hub of activity for our community, and we are literally steps away from it, which is fantastic.
And you talked a little bit about the event space. It's a lovely, centrally located space for those who might need to host something.
Absolutely, absolutely. We host sort of conferences. I mean, Sheriff has her social gatherings there and everything. We've had weddings, so it's a beautiful space, and it's been open 10 years now, and it's a fantastic hub for us.
Absolutely. My grandfather was involved in bringing that library to Petersburg.
That's amazing.
And so it is absolutely a wonderful place to be. Now, as we think about the education and the shopping, there's also food. And Petersburg is known for some beautiful restaurants, new and old, but there are a few new ones that have come on the scene.
We've got a bunch of new restaurants and incoming too. So we have a new Caribbean-style restaurant, Soul Rebel. We have a Comeback Burger, amazing burgers. We have the most amazing European bakery called Buttery Baking Shop. Yes, and it's incredible. European pastries. Amazing. We have a new wings place coming, which is exciting. We have 2 wine bars coming. So I mean, there's just so much activity going. It's hard to keep up. But then we have our old favorites. You know, we have Croaker Spot and the Farmers Market, which is incredible. And then we have Maria's, the Italian restaurant. We have Old Town Alibi right on the corner with the big mural. Dixie. It's a Brick House Run, obviously on Cockade Alley. And so we have 24, I believe 24, I think at the last count, 24 restaurants within like 4 blocks. So it's fantastic.
It's absolutely amazing. Not something you can do all in one day, and that's why Hotel Petersburg is the perfect time, the perfect place to have an overnight stay.
We are very excited about Hotel Petersburg. It's come back to life, literally, after being closed, I think, in 1969. And it has now got 64 rooms. And it's a boutique hotel under the Hilton brand, but it's privately owned. Their restaurant and bar are open, and they're beautiful. I did get a peek up on the rooftop the other day. It was freezing cold, but beautiful sunset.
Oh my goodness.
Rooftop bar, and you just a whole new perspective of Petersburg. It's absolutely stunning. So it's very exciting. They're also going to have this very cool speakeasy vibe boiler room lounge in the basement, which is going to be, that's not open yet. I think it's supposed to open by New Year's maybe. So, but it's fantastic. The renovation is exquisite, and it's just very exciting that people now have a place to stay, and you can walk from the hotel. You can just park, and then you can walk to all the restaurants and the shops and enjoy everything that Petersburg has to offer.
Well, speaking of walking, talking, we're going to actually go to another location, our second stop of the morning. And in the meantime, here's a little information to pass along to you. Market Street Coffee is located at 111 North Market Street here in Petersburg. You can reach them at 804-774-8189. And for more information, go online. Visit petersburgva.org and find more on facebook.com/City of Petersburg VA. All right, stay with us because we've got places to be. We look forward to seeing you right after this break.
This segment is sponsored by Bryant and Stratton College.
As we prepare to enjoy Christmas next week, a lot of people are already preparing their New Year's resolutions for 2025. If one of your resolutions is to start a new career and find the best career training around, you may be in luck. Bryant and Stratton College offers degree programs in an array of today's most in-demand career fields. With me today to talk about how you can achieve your 2025 career goals is the college's Richmond Campus Director, Beth Murphy. Thank you for coming in.
Oh, thank you.
So, why should Bryant and Stratton be considered one of the top schools for careers?
Well, because we're only offering degrees that are in those high-demand careers. So it's a very focused education, and we've been doing it for 170 years. So we know what we're doing. We're local, and again, just very focused on the degrees that are leading to the jobs.
We have talked quite a bit about your nursing programs and how many of those folks go from the classroom to their job pretty much the next day. What are some of the other programs that you provide that have those kinds of results?
Amy, you're right. We are definitely known for our nursing programs, but we do have medical assisting, we have IT, hospitality, business, human resources. So it's this wide offering, but they all have that one thing in common, which is they're in high demand fields. And so I encourage people who have been thinking about going back to school maybe to visit our website and do a little bit of digging and seeing what we offer.
How does the college decide which programs to offer in those high demand areas?
We talk to our local employers because keep in mind, our graduates are staying in this area. So I'm regularly, our career services team, regularly talking to employers and saying, what do you need? Where are we short staffed? Where's the forecast? So we're only offering those degrees where we see a good job forecast, not just now, but for the future.
And coursework is one thing, but how does Bryant and Stratton really prepare those students to go from the classroom to the workplace?
The good thing is our classrooms are small. We've got small classes, and you're right, there's definitely theory, and we've got the PowerPoints going and everything, but you also have to couple that with the soft skills, communication, critical thinking. And so we will do things like maybe you're technically learning how to take someone's blood pressure, but you're also learning how to talk to somebody calmly and how to react if maybe the blood pressure is really high. And so it's a nice combination of those technical skills and those soft skills in the classroom.
Oh, that is fantastic. Just a well-rounded employee a lot of places will get after Bryant and Stratton. So there has to be another semester coming up very soon. When does it start, and what do you say to all the procrastinators out there about if they still have time to sign up?
You do have time.
Yeah.
But the next semester starts in January, which I love. A lot of times people don't realize we do 3 semesters a year. You can start your education in January. You can get 2 semesters under your belt before that September starts. So I encourage you, if you've been thinking about it at all, now's the time to pick up the phone or visit the website or come by the college, and let's start down that path.
What an exciting way to start 2025. Some classes, a new you,
Exactly.
that they can get that career that they've been wanting for a while. Thank you, Beth, for bringing in such important information. Winter 2025 classes at Bryant and Stratton College begin Wednesday, January 15th. Bryant and Stratton College's Richmond campus is located at 8141 Hull Street Road in North Chesterfield. For more information, give them a call. Here's the number, 888-839-1718, or visit the website, bryantstratton.edu. Connect on social media as well. And stay with us. We have more Virginia This Morning after the break.
This segment is sponsored by Our Home Magazine.
Welcome back, everybody. The January-February issue of Our Home Magazine is loaded with design inspiration.
Here with a preview of the issue is the publication's own Susan Morgan, managing editor of Our Home Magazine. We always love it when you come in because, A, we get to see some fantastic stuff and we learn. So welcome back.
Thank you. It's great to be here and see you guys.
We're going to talk about how important designers are and how many different kinds of designers there are.
Well, I mean, design actually affects everything you do. You just don't think about it. I mean, from the way the streets are laid out to, you know, the pen you use every day. Some person designed that. And so a lot of people now are kind of stepping back and saying, how does design affect your, you know, daily life, and how important it is to making it a pleasant, beautiful, functional, practical space, you know, world. So.
Well, you know, I've lived in Richmond for 20 years now, and in that time, I mean, there was always an arts community, but I feel like in recent years, it's just exploded. And of course, design is a big part of that with, you know, graduates from VCU staying in the area and other places.
Right.
It's just really, and we see it everywhere.
Well, I mean, the design community, the number of decorators is amazing. I mean, it's really grown. I've been at the magazine now almost 6 years, and I think that every month I see more and more people that are entering the field.
Yeah.
And like you said, I mean, it could be landscaping. It can be anything.
Exactly.
You know, somebody that has a vision puts that vision to work, and it works for all of us.
Right.
So you got some folks we want to talk about today, and you were real excited about the first one.
Yeah, you know, Christian Siriano, I'm a huge fan of fashion design. That's an area that I just have such a love for. But this fashion design eye is translating into a home space.
Well, I think Christian Siriano he's into decorating, and so we were very fortunate. That's him on the cover. We were fortunate that his mother and sister now live in Richmond, and he comes here on a regular basis. So he shared the photos of his home that he did for his mother on Monument Avenue.
Beautiful.
Wow.
But we also, in this issue, we look at different people who design. So we have 2 local designers or decorators that Stephen McFadden and Jennifer Stoner, who have new homes. They're all different design styles.
One of them's a split level, which, you know, when I was growing up, I never lived in a split level, but friends of mine did. And I always thought, this is such a good idea. And now everybody goes, oh, split level. Yeah. No, I love the whole idea of the split level. Still do.
Yeah. I mean, I think that there's a lot of diverse homes in the area, and you can make a beautiful home in any house style with any aesthetic.
Yeah.
So we look here. We've got we have decorators, people who do interior decorating. We've got an apartment on Park Avenue that a woman who is a dress designer lives in, and it's very feminine and beautiful. And then we also even went to work with Scott Morris, he is a broker, but he and his wife also own Mid-Century Morris. It's a vintage, it's like warehouses in Scott's Addition that filled with mid-century furniture and paintings and things like that. And he has his investment office just totally designed in that aesthetic. It's very fun.
Every issue of your magazine, I'm always so inspired by just how beautifully people live here in the Richmond area. And I know that I need to up my game every time I see this. But I mean, there are so many ways that you can just tweak the design just a little bit, and you can just make the space your own.
One of these houses is a Dutch colonial, which is like not hip, but it is.
But it can be.
And you know, I think people that have that vision, that can see something like a split level and go, we can make this look like that. I'm like, where did that come from? You know?
I don't know. It's an inherent eye, I guess, trained. But we also have a house that Amaza Lee Meredith designed in 1939, and it's on the campus of Virginia State University down in Ettrick. And it is designed in the International Modern style. It was just like in the last 2 days put on the National Historic Register.
Cool.
And Amaza Lee Meredith she created the art program at VSU. She was probably the first female black queer architect in the state, and her house is one of the few designed in that International Modern style at that time period. And it's very cool too. And there's also an exhibit at the ICA at VCU about her now, or that was inspired by her at this moment.
Told you we were going to learn things and see things.
Always.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
The Our How magazine office is located at 1910 Byrd Avenue, Suite 100 in Richmond. For more information, give them a call at 804-355-0111 or visit the website richmondmagazine.com/ourhome. Before we head to break, looks like Andreas and Ella are en route to the second location. We will check in with them in just a few minutes. Stay with us.
Coffee and they're on the
That's right. Welcome back to our live show. The Underground Kitchen presents their Smart Soul Food program, an opportunity to learn to cook some of your favorites step by step from a professional chef.
Always helps to have the pros on board. Today, our friends of the show, Michael Sparks, the CEO and founder of the Underground Kitchen and UGK Community First, is here with Chef Steve Glenn, UGK's culinary director, to give us a quick overview of the program and share their hot fire jambalaya.
You gotta love
Did I get it
fire
right?
jambalaya.
I held that.
Guys, this is what you do on an everyday basis is so special and so important. Let's start there and let's talk about how this all got started and what the mission is.
So Underground Kitchen started, the for-profit started in 2010, and that was to bring the community together for us to have conversation over a meal. Well, 14 years later, 15 years later, during COVID, we became a 501c3, a nonprofit. And that nonprofit supported the community for 3 years during COVID. After COVID, we had to decide what we were going to do with the nonprofit, but we started supporting the community by supporting child care centers, early learning centers through Central Virginia, and connecting them to farmers cooking farm to table, fresh food every day delivered to schools. And that program is still going on. We still have a senior program, but what we found during that whole process is that you go to a farmer's market, and even us, we go there and we see vegetables that we don't know what to do with.
Yeah.
So we wanted to create a program, and it's Smart Soul Food, and it's a little bit about Southern food, but it's more about the soul. It's about foods, to learn about what you can do with foods and learn how they can enrich your lives and make you happier. We want to cut out the middleman. We want to connect folks to the farmers, to local foods that are nutritious and healthier for you. Stop eating processed food and fast foods and become a healthier community. Our goal is in the next 5 years making Richmond one of the healthiest cities in the country.
I love hearing that so much. And of course, your hot fire jambalaya is a part of that healthy community effort.
So a little fun backstory behind that name. It actually comes from my childhood.
Okay.
Which a lot of these recipes that we try to do are going to stem from my childhood, sort of from my background. I grew up Cajun background. My mother, my whole mother's side of the family is from Louisiana.
Okay.
So I bring a lot of those flavors in. And this actually comes from one of my best friends growing up. His mother used to make jambalaya every now and again. And anytime I would come over to hang out, they'd be like, hey, you want some of my hot fire jambalaya? But they would say it so nonchalantly.
I always, yes, please.
I was always so tickled by it. So I said, if I ever do jambalaya somewhere, I'm pulling that name.
Hot
so
fire.
Shout out to Miss Anita for that. So we just got some chicken going here. And what we got here is a low sodium Cajun blend.
Okay.
So there's lots of spices in here, paprika, cayenne, onion powder, garlic powder. We're doing low sodium because we're, of course, trying to look out for the blood pressure issue that we've got going on in the community. It looks like a lot of spice, but most of this is paprika. We want to get some good color on here. And we're going to put this in early, so as this cooks, it starts to toast and the flavors start to develop a little bit more. So you're able to leach out a little bit more flavor out of these spices than you would if you just start dumping salt in.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go in with some beef sausage as well. And those are going to rock out together. That chicken's going to brown. That beef sausage is going to start to render the fat. And that's what we're going to help use to build the sauce in which we're going to cook this rice. So as that continues to brown.
So Chef, what kind of sausage do you like using in your jambalaya?
So in my jambalaya, I use an andouille because that's just traditional. But, pork sausage, not the greatest for your blood pressure or your cholesterol. So just to give a somewhat healthier option, we're going to go with the beef sausage. And into this pot, this is one of our one-pot meals. We try to keep them simple for these classes. We want to teach you something that's going to be super flavorful, impactful, but at the same time is not going to be using a lot of dishes, and it also might save you a buck. We're going to teach you stuff like, instead of going to the store and buying a $7 pack of chicken breast and feeding your family for one night, go to the store and buy that same spend that same $7 to buy a whole chicken. You can feed your family for 2, maybe 3 nights.
Yeah.
So we were talking earlier about, taking farm to table for children and teaching. Most of us didn't even hear about that till we were adults. And
what a great lesson to
learn
carry on from the
this
time
is a thing.
you're in preschool, and if that's how you grow up
That's right.
with that mindset and thinking that way, what a great life you'll have.
We like to think that we're changing generations. So if you start out eating good food, you're going to go your whole life looking for good food. So it's going to change the pattern of families and change the directory for generations.
Yeah, definitely. So you added the vegetables in there. What was that? Celery, onion?
So that's what we call the Holy Trinity.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's the basis of all Cajun cooking, Creole cooking, celery, bell peppers, and onions. And then we go in with garlic. That's the Pope.
Yep. You betcha.
So as you can
gotta
smell
have some
now,
garlic.
It's getting really fragrant. It's really nice.
Yes, it is. Beautiful.
So we're starting to wake up those spices. And we're starting to get those vegetables alive.
The paprika mix that you put in there is really coated on that chicken now.
Exactly. So we want to, like I said, we want to get some good color in there because you eat with your eyes. So, you know, you want it to be vibrant when it goes on the plate. Going in with a little bit of tomato paste. And we're going to cook that tomato paste out. Tomato paste is super acidic, so we want to cook that acidity out a little bit. So we're just going to get that to brown on the bottom of the pan.
This looks really dry to me.
It does. At the moment it is, but we're going to add some stuff to it. And we're going to loosen that whole thing up.
Yeah, but you're getting everything kind of browned in the meantime.
Right. So what we do is we cook in layers. So we build flavors. So we put one thing in, start to let it get color, put the next thing in, start to let that get color. And then over the whole process, you end up stacking flavors. So your end product is just crazy flavorful.
I love that. Crazy, flavorful, hot fire jambalaya.
And healthy.
Loves that.
And healthy.
Yeah, and healthy.
And as you see, we're making this from the ground up, from scratch. You saw everything cut up. You know, nothing came in a pack.
And it's coming together very quickly too. I think a lot of times folks, they hesitate with starting from scratch because they say, oh, I don't have time to do that. But we've only been talking for about 5 minutes, 6 minutes, and we almost have the dish put together.
Yeah, and this in total is a 30-minute meal, maybe 15 minutes for prep, 15 minutes to actually cook it, and you're good to go. So I just put some parboiled brown rice in. I'm using brown rice. It's a little bit better for you than some white rice, just a little bit more nutrient dense. So that's something we're trying to, you know, push to the people out in the community, that there are alternatives to what we grew up eating. We're going with 2 cups of water.
Okay.
And then all you would do here, you would bring this up to a boil. You cap it. Once it comes up to a boil, you bring it down to a simmer and just let it simmer for about 15 minutes.
So one of my favorites is still sitting over here, Chef. We're almost out of time.
Yeah, so this
okra hasn't gone in yet.
This is the ingredient that's a little bit controversial. So we have, it's some people, because a lot of people don't like okra because it has that sliminess to it.
When you put it in with other things, you don't even know.
What we have here is pickled okra.
Okay.
So the reason I like to use pickled okra, 1, because it negates that sliminess once it gets pickled, and 2, it adds just a little bit of zip to it at the end. You know, you got the hot fire in there, but you need a little zip too.
And you can always get an extra vegetable in there. Make it fun and tasty and healthy.
It never hurts. And so once we get that done, I just like to finish it off with a little bit of fresh green onion, because that's the traditional way to finish off a jambalaya.
Smells fantastic. Can't wait to do a taste test.
I smell this smell every day. Every day is something beautiful.
Can't keep them out of the kitchen.
Well, we are going to finish this conversation. We're going to put together a little social media video for you because, you know, we want to talk about how this tastes because you know it tastes good.
I can't wait for this.
I know.
For more information, you can visit virginiathismorning.com later today. We'll be right back, folks.
This segment is sponsored by the City of Petersburg.
I'm taking a tour of Petersburg today. Earlier, we got a chance to stop at Market Street Coffee for a most delicious treat. And now we're at the Apothic Company. I'm here with Ella Dickinson, Project Manager for the Department of Communications, Tourism, and Marketing for the City of Petersburg. Good morning.
Good morning again. Yes.
This place is festive from the very front doors all the way to the back and is a beautiful, newly renovated space.
Stunning, isn't it? Salon in the back, and then you can treat yourself in the front.
That's right.
It's fantastic.
You can come and be pampered, get your hair done, your nails done, and do a little shopping. It's the perfect combination, especially for a day trip to Petersburg.
Exactly. Get fueled up with a little coffee and tea, and then come down and shop. And we've got some great little small businesses down here, and you can literally just park and then walk around.
Park and walk around. Speaking of walking around, we're going to walk through this store. As you see, we've got the salon. Hello, ladies. And if you buy something at this store, there's also a little wrapping that can go into it. A beautiful wrapping station. Not something you see at every store these days.
That's a bonus
and a
for me.
wonderful, wonderful way to kick off your holiday shopping if you haven't started like me. Now, in the front of the store, there's also a place to grab the most wonderful gifts.
All right. Unfortunately, we lost a little bit of the live shot there, but it caught us in the middle
Caught us in the act, but
of the hot fire here.
It is fantastic. Okay, Andreas is back. We want to go back to Petersburg and see a little bit of what's going on down there. Yeah, you don't want to watch us eating anymore.
Oh, yes, because there's still more to talk about here in Petersburg. We're walking through the Apothic Company here on Bank Street in Petersburg. I've got Ella Dickinson. She is the project manager for the Department of Communications, Tourism, and Marketing for the city of Petersburg. We've got a salon in the back. We've got a gift wrapping station. We've got baked goods in the front and the perfect gifts. We were just talking about the many different places that you can get antiques and all sorts of other wonderful goods.
Yeah, all kinds of things. I mean, if you want to find a vintage item or something special that no one else will get, you know, for Christmas, whatever, then you can find it here in our lovely antique shops. And it's just really nice to be able to park and just walk around and eat at a restaurant, of course, because we have many, and then just browse in the shops and support our local businesses.
That's right. There's still more to see at this wonderful, wonderful place. And as you can see, the decorations, the garlands, the trees, everything is just so beautiful. It puts you in the spirit.
It sure does. And talking of that, they actually, the Apothic folks actually decorated one of the designer rooms at Center Hill Mansion, which is open for the next 2 weekends. If people want to really enjoy beautiful decorations, it's a not to miss experience.
Not to miss, indeed. And we passed by them, but there are ornaments from Blandford Church, which is a beautiful attraction here.
That Blandford has a full set of Tiffany windows, and that is also, they're open Thursday through Sunday for tours on the hour, and it's a real treat.
A real treat. So you can come to Petersburg and do just about anything you can think of. But to your point, we can stop and park and walk to all of these beautiful locations, make a day trip out of it, or even stay the night at Hotel Petersburg.
Well, that's the ideal thing, to experience the beautiful new hotel as well. And that is walking distance. You could just walk right here to where we are now. So it's wonderful.
The hotel just opened, but there's so much more that's on the horizon in Petersburg. The casino is on its way, and there's lots of other historic projects.
Yeah, we've got, the casino is huge. Obviously, there was a resounding yes in the referendum, and it's the biggest economic development project specifically for tourism in our lifetimes. And we're very, very excited to connect the future casino with Old Town, hopefully providing shuttle services. So for guests to come down here and experience the charm of the historic Old Town. Yes. While also staying in this beautiful new modern facility. We also, we're developing more of the riverfront here, along with Folar, the Patton Park and the trails. So we have beautiful recreational opportunities to kayak, to hike, to fish. And then we're also going to be further along, we're going to be milepost 1 of the 4-line trail going all the way to Ashland. And that's really exciting because that's going to connect Old Town with, you know, with our neighbors to the north, so that's very exciting.
That's right. Petersburg is certainly the place to be. There's so much on the horizon. Thank you to you and your team and all the people who played a part in what we're doing today. It is time to come down and visit Petersburg, Virginia, one of my favorite places. Right now, we're at the Apothic Company, located at 12 West Bank Street. You can give them a call, 804-431-2114. And for more information, you can go online, visit petersburgva.org, and find more on facebook.com/City of Petersburg VA. Well, I don't think there's any more reason that you need to come out to visit Petersburg. Thank you, Ella.
We welcome everyone.
We welcome everyone, and We'll be right back.
Word ginormous. You probably know what it means, but let's find out where that comes from. All right, this one is a British Army word from World War II. It's a blend of giant and enormous, like the enemy has a giant enormous tank and it's coming our way. And Amy got it right. And that's where that comes from.
This is a very monumental occasion. You can say those words.
It's a ginormous day.
Amy got it right. So, wow, this is so exciting.
Fantastic. Congratulations.
This is truly, truly magical.
Ginormous.
I didn't know that it was a military word, but
British military on top of that.
on top of that.
Yeah.
There you go.
So congratulations. We had a ginormous hit with the food today.
Oh my goodness, and we're still eating it. The fire, it sneaks up on you a little bit. He broke a sweat.
There's the little moisture on the top of the head as the fire's coming out the top.
But
now.
it's so, so delicious and just flavorful and good for you and a great community program. So, yeah, we're going to have a little extra on social media to our reaction of Bill waving his mouth as the flames started to
Well, we told you at the beginning of the show it was going to be fun and informative, so there you go. And it turned out both.
Yeah, and we got to eat a little bit too.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you to all of our guests today and to you for watching. Of course, you know, we always have days of infotainment ready to go, so, you know, I
Join us
wonder
again
what we'll
tomorrow
have in
morning.
store tomorrow.
Thursday morning is going to be a lot of fun, too. We've got a lot planned for you. We hope you can join us first thing tomorrow morning for another fun morning on
Virginia this morning.
There we
It's
go.
going to be a ginormous show tomorrow. How about that? We'll
She's
take
gonna
the
be
word
using
game.
that one for a while.
I am. I'm
She
very
got
proud of that
right.
one. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:56 a.m. Until then, make sure that you really like the jambalaya, don't you?
A little bit, a ginormous of an understatement there.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about the fresh food and what you can make. Once you've had food like this, the other stuff, it's like, why are you eating that bland stuff? Why can't we eat great stuff?
You don't want to go back to the processed when you see all of those fresh vegetables, so delicious, and it supports agriculture across Virginia too.
Fantastic. Have a great, we'll be back tomorrow morning. I will have cooled off by then.
We're just going to continue eating.
Woo.